The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hey there, Nashua, New Hampshire. Chief Happiness Officer Lyn-Dee Eldridge here. I am super excited, and hello, world. Well, you know what? Today is the day where we're going to be talking about your happy finances, and I was so excited. A few days ago, I was at a networking event, and I had the opportunity to meet Jason Haviland. He's a financial advisor here in Nashua, New Hampshire. He was very unique and very different in a lot of his thinking and how he helps his clients. So, of course, as the Happiness Jungle, Chief Happiness Officer of your Happiness Jungle, I'm always here to bring you the happiest people that I know will inspire you and give you great tips how to bring your tomorrow on in a really safe way. So, Jason, thank you so much for sticking out. Wow, at that the event in Nashua. That was exciting. It was a good event, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a great event. I'm very thrilled to meet you and all the other people there. I love talking about finances. I love helping people be their very best financial person. Everyone's helping them be their very best, all their different kinds of themselves. I really enjoy helping people become their very best financial person they can be.
You know what really stuck out about it, though? You told me something very, very unique. You say that you listen to your client, and not everybody gets the same advice.
Right. Yeah.
Share that with me.
Sure. So, first, people might be surprised to learn that the person giving them their financial advice does not necessarily have to have their best interest in mind. So, if you take nothing else away from the show today, I would absolutely encourage everyone to go ask whoever is giving them financial advice in sort of whatever capacity, are they a fiduciary? A fiduciary means you have to have that person's best interest in mind when you're giving them financial advice. So go ask, are you a fiduciary? If they say no, ask them why not. Maybe maybe they'll give you some acceptable answer. Maybe they won't. But that leads into your question, which is, okay, because I'm a fiduciary, it is my obligation to give you the very best financial advice that I can. And in order to do that, I have to get to know you. I've got to know who you are. I've got to know what motivates you. I have to know what your goals are. I have to know what you're trying to achieve for yourself, for your kids, for your grandkids, and all of that has to come together in one financial compelling, one story, one picture, one plan. And part of my job is to help give you that advice. It's okay, this is what I want. This is what I want for myself. This is what I want for my kids. This is what I want for my grandkids. How can we get it? And how can we do it in a way that aligns with my goals and beliefs and allows me to balance everything that I have going on in my life? So yes, that's absolutely the approach that I take, trying to build a custom plan for everybody I work with.
It was very unique to hear that there's a lot of plans that you deal with, a lot of companies, if you will. I like to call them like affiliates, okay, where you recommend the company and then you could also get a commission if your client decides to go with that line of security, financial security. You said that doesn't matter to you.
That's right.
You will not be bought to help your client.
That's right.
There's no money in the world that can make you happy that any company is going to dangle that carrot and say, if you sell my insurance to your clients, that's why you're on my show.
Well, thank you.
Because yes, I heard that loud and clear. And not that money doesn't make you happy, but by goodness, planning right for your future and your today most certainly does. It's called great peace of mind.
Right.
I I went and I stalked you a little bit.
Ooh. My first internet stalker. I think I should be happy to hear that.
I did. I stalked you personally and professionally. Your family is beautiful.
Thank you.
They look like they're so much fun.
I'd say about 90% of the time. That's absolutely true. The other 10% of the time, well, they are kids.
Tell me about your family.
Sure. So I have 2 daughters. Both go to public schools here in Nashua. I have a 12-year-old, and her big passion, the big thing that makes her happy, is cheerleading. So she is sort of all-star cheerleader. She loves competing against other teams. They travel throughout New England, and that's we're carting her all over and sort of helping her sort of find that passion and find that rhythm in cheerleading. And my younger daughter is 9, and her big passion, her big happy place is dance. And so we take, same thing. So she's on dance teams, and so we're taking them all around Nashua and in the New England and the country even, competing in dance competitions.
That's fantastic.
So I get a lot of cheerleading, a lot of dance in my life with my 2 girls.
Yes, you do.
And my lovely wife, Megan.
And Megan, stay-at-home mom?
Yes, Megan's a stay-at-home mom.
Megan, you have the hardest job in the world. You go, girl.
Yeah. So Megan and I met at Fidelity Investments. So I worked at Fidelity for a number of years, and that's where we met. And we settled here in Nashua about 14, 15 years ago.
I love that. So you both are like-minded when it comes to the financial aspect of what to do for life.
Yeah.
How to treat situations when we go through those trying times as we do in the United States and throughout the world.
Yeah.
When the alerts go up that, oh my gosh, we're in a financial disaster, you understand how to give people the mattress to sleep on to say, hey, everybody, have a good night's sleep. You're secure with me.
That's what we're trying to do. To your point earlier about the commission-based fees for sort of interacting with people, that's what I was referring to earlier. Like, you might be surprised that the products you've been sold or the investments that you've made, the person who's sort of made the most money off of that is your advisor or another investment company. Then you don't have the transparency. You can't see what am I really paying for this. So yes, absolutely. I try to make sure that transparency is high. People see what they're paying. It's fee only, so there's no commissions involved. And very much, I'm like everybody else. I'm trying to balance living my life now with trying to save for my kids' education, trying to put money away to retire, trying to figure out, all right, can we afford to do these really other big vacation? Like everyone else everyone's trying to balance something. Whether you've got $5, $5,000, or $5 million, you're always trying to balance something. And so very much, I'm trying to help you, because I think balance is the corollary to happiness. Right?
I like that. Yes, it is.
If you don't, you can, one path to happiness is having a balanced life, having balance in all aspects of things you're trying to do. So figuring out, all right, what are my hobbies? What are my passions? How much can I spend on that? All right, should send the kids to school or grandkids, or we got to make sure we don't extend too much on the house. We've got to live somewhere, but let's make sure we live within our means. And sort of figuring all that out is very much the type of conversation that I'll typically have with the families and clients that I work with.
I love it. Let's dissect a little bit.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's dissect.
Because I want to help all age groups.
Okay.
Okay. I want to help the young couple who's starting out a family that are on that extremely tight budget.
Yep.
Sometimes the parents are eating the crackers while the babies could eat the chicken.
Yep.
But it's time to really start thinking about putting a little bit away for the college, for the future of the child.
Yes.
Give us a good, healthy solution of what a couple can do to help start that fund.
Okay.
And I'm talking about, let's go for people that have kids 10 and under.
Okay.
How about that? Okay.
Right. All right. So I'd say 2 important steps in what we just discussed. First, it's very important for every family to have a budget. Again, whether you have $5, $5,000, or $5 million, you absolutely need a budget. You have to understand what's going in and what's coming out. And so there's a lot of different tools that folks can use to build that budget. You can do it, the old-fashioned way. When I was a kid, we just put out a bunch of envelopes, right? And every envelope had a certain amount of money in it, and you had IOUs, and you sort of figured it out that way. That's a very low-tech way. You could use Excel or some other spreadsheet kind of a program, or a lot of my clients use a program called Mint.com.
I've heard of Mint.
And it basically pulls in all of your expenses, and you can do a budget, and it tells you every month, we expected to spend $100 for going out to eat this month, and here's what, based on the credit card and bank statements, here's what we actually spent. So there's a couple different ways to do it. So number one, you really need to make sure you have a good handle on what's going in, what's going out, and once you get into a positive cash flow, right, you have a little bit more money coming in than going out. All right, so let's assume you've done that, you've got that figured out. Now, saving is really important in two aspects of it. One, starting as early as you can. All right, so what you mentioned there, sort of kids under 10, you really need to start saving for college the day they're born. You got to start early, right? You never get to a point and say, oh, I've saved too much, or you know what, I wish I'd started saving later. It is always, I wish I'd started earlier. So the first point is to start. And what you said is advice that I really like, and that is absolutely appropriate to start with, which is it's okay to start small. You just have to start. And you have to set it up as an automatic contribution so you don't even see it. All right? So you set up the account. You can do $5, $10, $20 a month. That's okay. Just get it open. Just get it started. Okay? So that's one. You got to do the budget. Two, you got to start early. So get it open and just get it started. And then third, you could consider, now you get sort of moving along the spectrum of sophistication here. There is a product called a 529 college savings account. Okay? Now this is a product that is specifically designed for families and individuals to save money for college. And the big advantage of this 529, it refers to the tax code. That's how it got that funny name. It's part of the tax code, so it's a Section 529 account. That money you earn, so you earn your money from your paycheck, you put it in, $25, $50, $100 a month, and it grows tax-free.
Oh.
You don't have to pay any tax on it. When you take the money out to pay for college, you do not have to pay any taxes on it. So you get a double tax break. It grows tax-free, and if you use it for education, it comes out tax-free.
Wow. Is that only New Hampshire, or is that United States wide?
Everybody in the United States can have access to that plan. Now, there are various reasons. So when we talk about a spectrum of complexity in college financial planning, the formulas for aid and grants and scholarships are impacted by how much money you've saved, and things can get complicated the more that balance grows. But I would absolutely recommend starting early. And again, if you have to start at your credit union, because sometimes you open a 529 plan account and they want you to put a minimum of either $50 or $100 a month. If that's too much, okay, just go to your credit union, open up a regular savings account, start putting the 5, 20, 15, whatever it is that you can afford. You got to start and have it come out automatically. That's the other big. You can't be putting, deposit going in. No, just got to come out of it.
And
your
forget
checking
about
account
it.
like you never had it. That's what's important.
It doesn't exist. I like that. I remember being a single mom, and my baby was 15 months old when I got divorced. And I remember Florida. I lived in South Florida at the time. They came out with their state college program, and I took advantage of it. I think she was around 5 years old when I got started with her plan.
Yep.
I think they took $5 a week out of my paycheck. I didn't feel it, but what was the best part about it was that I never looked at it.
That's good.
I really never looked at it. And when she hit 19 and 20, I looked at it, and what a wonderful gift I was able to give her.
Yes,
So
that's what we're all
it
trying
was
to do
fabulous.
for our kids.
Yeah. And my daughter, just, for argument's sake, some people say, well, how do I even know my child's going to go to college?
Yes.
Mine did not. But what I was able to do was her move on with her future happily. And because it was her money, she was able to invest it correctly. I wasn't just going to give her the money.
Yeah.
She invested in a home.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay? So as long as there was something, she's just not going to get the money.
Right.
Kids just don't earn the money, right?
Right.
So thank you. That was a great tip. You could start as soon as you're pregnant,
Yes.
or just start.
Just start.
That's
yeah.
the key.
And again, with that 529, that's that if you don't use that, that's a very important point, because people will ask me, should I do this 529 account? And if they don't, so if you set it up for one of your kids and they don't, let's say they don't go to college, you can change the beneficiary. So if you have 2 kids, you could potentially change the beneficiary to another child. If they have children, you could change the beneficiary to a grandchild. And you could also change it to yourself.
Many options.
So, but you have to use it for school. So if it doesn't end up getting used for school, then it gets taxed and penalized. So
and that's fair.
That's the kind of thing you'll want to come have a conversation with an advisor about. To say, all right, should I do this? I'm ready to start doing it now. Is it going to make sense for me in my unique circumstances?
Fantastic. I love that. Okay, let's go to the next age group.
All right.
All right. So now we have parents and they're starting to have teenage kids. They're starting to look at the colleges.
Right.
They have yet to really set up what they needed to set up.
Right.
Okay. And they're kind of worried. There's a solution.
Yeah.
And even though they didn't get started as early as they could have, it doesn't matter. Give us that.
Okay.
For people to look at this right now and go, oh my gosh, I feel relieved. That's what I want you to do for people right now.
Okay. This is hard because this gets to part of the heart of happiness.
Okay.
And back to my commentary earlier about balance.
Yes.
All right. So as you get to that age and your kids are sort of thinking about college or should I go to college? Yes or no? And if I do, what's going to be my major? What am I going to do? One of the big problems we have today is college is extraordinarily expensive. Okay? And all along, like our kids, I got a dancer and a cheerleader, and we've tried soccer, we've tried violin, we've exposed them to all sorts of different kinds of activities, and they found their passions, and we're encouraged, like the best practices in parenting, like help your kids, fuel your kids' passions, help them do what they love. So we are. As you approach college, right, and you start having to have real conversations about what you're going to do with your life, that discussion around, all right, I'd like to be a teacher. Okay, that's so wonderful. You're going to be a teacher. But the salaries for teachers are so low.
Yeah.
And if you have to go to school and take on thousands, tens, $20,000, $100,000 worth of debt to go to school and then to be a teacher, by the way, graduate school, you really need to prepare yourself for the life you're going to have with $100,000 of debt and a teacher's salary.
Right.
So it is a very balanced conversation that families have to have. So I would absolutely encourage you to go start having that conversation. There are websites that you can go to that show the salaries and what are the skills that you need for various careers and where those jobs are.
Right.
And you want to be an interior designer, you better love New York City because there's probably not going to be too many of those jobs here in Nashua. So really figuring out what you want to be, where those jobs are, what they're going to pay, and then how much debt might it make sense for you to take on if you haven't been able to make it, and which most families don't. They can't save enough to send their kids. So you've got to be real with that conversation. And then I would say once you sort of have the sort of practical conversation about it, then say, all right, at some point then you got to just send, they got to leave the nest and they got to do what they think is going to make them happy, and they got to own their life. Like
own their life. That's a beautiful thing. I like that. That's what being an adult
is about. So that would be, if you haven't made it, you got to make sure you have that very real conversation. And then I'd say credit, working on helping them build some credit. So get them a debit card and help them work on credit would be another. Teaching them the importance of paying it off, or here's what's going to happen if you don't.
I'm thriving on this now. One of my biggest mentors is Les Brown, and I was listening to him on the way to the station this morning. One of the most important, impactful things that he mentioned this morning was, it's not what you leave behind, it's what you leave within your children. Teach them how to survive and take care of themselves.
That's right.
So what you just said brought it to a whole new happy, powerful place. Teach them how to.
Right, and balance it with their happiness, because they like if they're not. If you tell them no, you have to go be an accountant, or you got to be a finance person. Like I'd love that. That was great for me, but I can tell you that is not going to be what my kids want to hear, and so that's fine. I'm going to have to balance them. All right, well if that's here's a career that's in demand. We'll pick something else.
And I'm going to go fast forward.
All right.
All right. We were
Keep
brought
going.
up. We were brought up to and I'm going to piggyback off of, just because I'm an accountant doesn't mean that you need to be an accountant.
That's right.
And so many people are unhappy with what they're doing because they were told what to do. And in today's world, with the way it is, more people should, as far as I'm concerned, become independent contractors. Start taking care of yourselves. Yes, we need for the people to have jobs as well. But when they're finding that balance, people having to learn a new platform at a later age.
Okay.
Companies are closing left and right and leaving people that were with companies for over 30 years now jobless with a severance package that really isn't going to carry them out for it'll carry them for maybe 6 months, maybe 3 months. Give me some really good advice. We're almost out of time for our group of people that are at this fragile state of life where we can no longer be just moseying along. We're no longer 20s, 30s, and 40s trying to figure out what do we want to be when we grow up. Somebody literally said to us, lights out, Charlie, go figure it out. And people are looking at us like, wait a minute, you're in your late 40s, or I could hire somebody that's a lot younger than you. Share with me. Because I know that 30 weeks ago, I reinvented myself into the happiness jungle. I am the chief happiness of the happiness jungle. And reason being is because I found something that I passionately love and I know I will thrive with abundance.
Yes.
Share with us.
That's, I think that's the magic, right? Because everybody should absolutely try to do what they love. Take that risk, take that chance, see if you can make a go at it doing what you love. And if you can't, well, then you know.
Right.
Or maybe the path had to twist and turn a little bit. And I'm a financial advisor, so you also have to have the realism of, all right, what can your finances support? Like what are your base expenses that you can't slice any more out of, that you really have to make sure are covered? Okay, understand what those are, and then pursue your dreams. That's what I did. I worked in corporate America for 21 years and decided I wanted to start my firm. I wanted to run it my way. I wanted to help people the way I wanted to help them, give them the advice along the dimensions that I thought were most important.
Wow.
And so that's what I'd say, have a go at it, and do it with a financial advisor so you know how much risk and what sort of paths are realistic for you.
I love it. You worked for corporate America. How long have you now owned your own entity?
It's just been this year, so I'm still a nascent little growing firm, but I am growing. I have good traction, great clients, great families that I'm working with.
And you're
I'm
the
super
obvious
excited.
expert of being a financial planner,
Well,
without a doubt. I'm excited about that. So one of the things that I want to share with our audience, first of all, please share with them, how can they get in touch with you?
Sure. So unlike some financial firms, you can call me, right? I'll have my phone. If I'm not with another client, I will absolutely call you. So you can call me, 603-438-1874. You can also find me online. There's biographical information about me and my firm, the services we offer. That's at BradfordInvestments.com.
Love it.
And you can schedule, if you'd like to schedule a free consultation, that's on the site. You want to reach out to me with a question, you can contact me. It's all on the site, jbradfordinvestments.com.
That's awesome. Jason, I give these hearts out all over the world. And before we started the show, you were fiddle-faddling with them.
Yeah.
So from my heart to yours, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I call those good energy hearts.
Yeah.
It's people carry them around with them. So whenever they're going through the fiddle-faddle moment, they have that, and hopefully it brings really good energy.
Thank you.
The other thing that I want to do here in the Happiness Jungle, you ready to play a little bit of game for me?
Oh, I'm ready for
all
game. Yes, I love it. The
Okay.
spontaneous portion of the show.
Spontaneous portion of the show. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to pull out some cards. You're going to pick a card of choice.
One card.
One card, and
right.
then we're going to relate it to your field, and we're going to leave everybody with a really happy solution to a financial, for something financial for them to go ahead.
This is going to be hard.
I know.
Okay.
So go ahead, and if it's a green card, the audience is not going to be able to see it, but there you go.
Okay.
Go for it.
Oh, I love it. So, be in control. That's what financial planning is all about. It's coming together and understanding what are all the, what are my assets? What income do I have? What does my financial situation look like? What are all my debts? What are all my obligations? And then what are my hopes and dreams? What are my goals?
Wow.
And you want to be in control of getting yourself achieving those goals. And for some, it's easier. I'm certainly not here to say it's going to be a piece of cake. You just call up a financial advisor and we have all the answers. It's not. But what we can do is give you that nice warm blanket to sort of wrap around you and all your financial situations so you can feel comfortable, so you can feel like you're in control and actually be in control of your finances.
Wow. We never said life was easy, but we did say you could be happier. Jason, I can't thank you enough. I hope that you're going to come back. And I understand that you might have been speaking with the producers here. You might just be having your own TV show.
Yeah, we might. We'll see.
And
we'll have
the name will be?
We'll see how that goes. We don't know. We'll have a grand reveal on your show. How about that? I will
like
promise
that.
to come back and have a grand reveal on this show should that come to fruition.
I am excited. And everybody, I just want to go out to everybody. The gentlemen that are behind the scenes that you will never see behind the Access Nashua TV station are absolutely priceless. They're a great team, and I always want to go out to them and show appreciation. In the Happiness Jungle, it's all about our tomorrows, and tomorrows we get there together collectively, no matter what you want to do. Go out and network, because that's how Jason and I found one another. If you're looking to start something new, if you're looking to create another source of income, they're not going to be knocking on your door. Meetup.com is a site that you want to use. It is absolutely powerful, free, and you'll get to go ahead and meet like-minded people. So from my heart to yours, the Happiness Jungle wishes everybody financial freedom and a happier tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.